Helene's path well to the east of where the forecast was. I'll show you what that means for us and the newest forecast for our wind potential coming up.
And from the mountains to right here in the Triangle, WRAL has the largest team of reporters and meteorologists covering Helene. We have team coverage so you can stay safe as Helene brings wind, rain, and possibly tornadoes to our area.
Plus, devastation in Florida where Helene made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane. The new videos and images entering our newsroom as damage is left behind. We have a lot that we are covering this morning from Helene, the impacts that are being seen in Florida, Georgia, and even here locally. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. And now those local impacts could be even greater because Helene is tracking farther east than we originally thought. And that means bigger impacts for us. Let's get to meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Amy, you said you wouldn't be surprised if we see tornado warnings this morning.
That's right. I really won't. We're monitoring radar very carefully. I think we'll have tornado warnings. I think we'll have flash flood warnings. We will have power outages. The center of circulation right now, it's about 100 to 150 miles east of where the forecast was. And that has big implications as far as the wind is concerned for our area. Today, we'll get some heavy rain, so we could have some flash flooding, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. So this is new this morning. Chris and I decided to go ahead and bump this up because that center is going to be closer to us, and that could lead to even more power outages. Tornadoes, yes, we are expecting to have tornado warnings. We could definitely have some tornadoes in the viewing area starting around 8 a.m. and continuing into the early part of the afternoon. What's the reason? Why is the track off? Well, we thought that this high pressure system was going to be a little bit stronger, that this trough will be a little bit stronger, and it would pull this to the west and northwest. It just isn't doing that. They're separated by a pretty good distance here, and this system, looks like it's starting to make a curve a little bit to the north, which is good. We don't want it to keep going to the north and east. We were hoping it would make that northwest turn. Right now, it looks like it's starting to move a little bit to the north. We're watching it very carefully. We have tornado warnings down in South Carolina. This is the band we're watching for our area, the threat for tornadoes. That's going to move in later this morning, right during the morning commute. And we have a lot of flash flood warnings in the North Carolina mountains as well. This is Futurecast. I have a statewide view to show you. We have the potential for tornadoes at around 8 a.m. this morning. It's in this band that we're most concerned with. We will likely have rotation within this band, and Chris and I will let you know if we get any warnings for the area. 9 a.m., it's still basically in the same spot, and then by 10 a.m., really starting to move through the Triangle, the southwestern counties. It's starting to get a little bit quiet there by 9, 10 o'clock this morning. At lunchtime, it's mainly north and east of the Triangle. And then as we head into the second half of the day, we still have the chance for some hit and miss showers and storms, but the tornado threat will be over for us once we get to the second part of the day, and things will be much quieter tonight and tomorrow. It is a weather alert day. We have a level 2 risk for severe weather for most of the area, a level 3 risk for our southern counties. Look at the winds right now. We have winds gusting at 52 in Charlotte, 22 miles per hour in Raleigh. There's a lot of power outages in Charlotte right now, 55 mile per hour gusts in Columbia. Closer to home, getting close to 30 mile per hour gusts in Southern Pines. So this is new. Winds starting to pick up here in our southwestern counties. A wind advisory in the forecast for today. I also have to mention this just briefly. We also have another hurricane that has formed in the Atlantic. That one's not going to bother us, but we'll have more team coverage coming up, Ken.
All right, Amy, all new into the WRAL Traffic Center. We just got reports of first responders in Raleigh working this crash with injuries on I-40 eastbound near Wade Avenue this morning. Let's take a live look at that scene. Right now we're seeing, it looks like it appears to involve a tractor trailer. First responders are there on the scene, but it doesn't appear to be causing any delays in that particular area. We'll, of course, watch that for you very closely. We're also monitoring this serious crash on East William Street, northbound near US 1. We're seeing a little bit of a delay there on East William Street. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if it's going to continue to affect your morning commute at all. Of course, if you're heading out this morning as this weather approaches, make sure you listen to us on 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the Triangle. You also have a couple of other options as well, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
This morning, Helene making its way up the southeast, but not quite yet making that bend. It has now been downgraded to a tropical storm after making landfall on Florida's coast as a Category 4 hurricane just after 11 p.m. last night. It was the strongest storm on record to hit the Florida Big Bend region. We'll give you a live look in Atlanta right now, where you can see a water rescue is underway. That street is flooded. Emergency vehicles there on the scene. The storm has now turned deadly as NBC reports 3 people have died in Florida and Georgia. Watches and warnings are in place for millions of people due to Helene's massive size and intensity. We have live team coverage here in the Triangle, on the roads in the WRAL Storm Tracker, and out in the western part of our state. We begin with WRAL Sean Gallagher joining us live from Asheville, where that area has been drenched and it's getting more rain right now. Sean.
Yeah, so we just left our hotel to get out and see a little bit more as daybreak is starting. And so we came to this parking lot not too far away. And I've got a wind gauge here. And, you know, I just had it up and it got up over 20 miles an hour. That's the first time I've seen something like that this morning. But again, they're just gusts, but they are strong when they do come up. But like you said, it is the rain and the excess water that they're dealing with that is going to be a major issue. Take a look at this video that we got just yesterday in Biltmore Village. They were gearing up for the storm, putting sandbags down and putting up plywood on windows. This building we were at is just a block away from the Shenandoah River, which is expected to crest later this afternoon at its record high, which was set over 100 years ago in 1916. That's why the concerns are high with heavy rains that they had Wednesday and now Helene dropping even more.
You know, of course, I'm scared. I mean, honestly, more for the tenants and what it means for Biltmore Village and for the damage that it will do.
Now, all of this is what they're expecting. Look, take a look at this map from the NWS. They say that the entire area of downtown Biltmore Village could be covered in water. That includes right out front of that business that we were at when the Shenandoah crests later this afternoon. Now, we do have to report a tragedy that has happened here in western North Carolina in Catawba County. A 4-year-old was killed in a crash yesterday while riding in an SUV. Law enforcement saying they crossed over the center line. Then that was the cause of the crash, and they're attributing it to heavy rain, those heavy rains before Helene even hit our area. Sean Gallagher, WRAL News in Asheville.
And we're tracking conditions here in the Triangle as well, giving you a glimpse of the roads as you get ready for your morning commute. We could still see rain in a few hours. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione joins us from the WRAL Storm Tracker. And Anthony, what are you seeing right now?
At the moment here in the Storm Tracker, things are pretty quiet. Thankfully, roads are dry, but we've certainly been seeing the flags blowing around. I think the wind is definitely going to be, as Amy and Chris were mentioning here throughout the show, a potential big issue for us, as well as the tornado threat here later on this morning. We have seen reports here and confirmation of a tree down, several trees down across the city of Raleigh, and I do think that may be a concern for us as we go forward this morning. So just make sure to stay weather aware today. We, of course, will be keeping you covered all morning long. As of now, though, roads are looking okay. You can see those clouds off in the distance, definitely looking a little bit eerie. We will be watching it here in the WRAL Storm Tracker, but for now, meteorologist Anthony Baglione here in the Storm Tracker.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, you heard Amy mention that we will be experiencing some power outages later on. Duke Energy map right now virtually showing almost nothing in our area. If you see here, 1 in Raleigh, 2 down in Four Oaks, 1 up in Lewisburg, 1 over in Durham. But as you will see, if you travel west towards Charlotte, look at the number of power outages they are dealing in the western part of our state. We're going to see these power outages likely as the rain moves in towards us. Also, Duke Energy does have this message as well, saying they know that we are experiencing heavy rains, particularly in the Western Carolinas. The ongoing weather challenges will slow progress until the storm fully exits our area later today. So I'm going to keep an eye on these power outages, and as they go up, I will let you know here in the Live Center.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Helene makes its way toward North Carolina this morning and already causing issues. A tree has fallen on a home in Fuquay Varina. So let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She joins us there live right now. Kelsey, what are you seeing from that site?
A
A tree fell on the right side of this home overnight. You can see that caution tape surrounding the tree now. We'll take you to video from the WRAL breaking news tracker from earlier this morning. This home is on Meadow Circle. That's about 5 minutes away from Fuquay-Varina Elementary. The fire department received a call about this downed tree around 2:15 this morning. Dispatchers say a caller reported that a person was trapped inside the house. We're working to confirm whether someone was inside when EMS arrived. As far as current conditions right now, we can tell that the wind is picking up as we know Helene is headed our way. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Fuquay-Varina.
The Wake County Public School System, the largest school system in the state, will be closed today. Other school systems are doing the same thing, considering the possibility of flooding and tornadoes. We have those closings scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Just take a look there. We will also keep the updated list on WRAL.com. This morning at 11 o'clock, Governor Roy Cooper and emergency management officials will give an update on the response to Helene. And you can watch that live on Fox 50 and on WRAL News Plus. You can also count on WRAL to keep you updated throughout the storms. Just download the WRAL News app where you can find live radar and get alerts based on your location. Just make sure your notifications are turned on. And remember, you can watch WRAL News live wherever you are, streaming Hulu, YouTube TV, Spectrum, and the WRAL app. And folks, we are keeping an eye on the roads as we brace for Helene here in the Triangle. We will join meteorologist Anthony Baglione. He is in the WRAL Storm Tracker as you're getting a live look this morning in Wake County.
And we'll start to feel the impacts here locally right during the morning commute. We have the chance for some tornadoes. The track of Helene is well to the east of what the forecast was, and that's going to mean some stronger wind gusts. I'll have the hour-by-hour wind gust forecast coming up.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in for Elizabeth this morning. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is with me here, and we've been really investigating radar to see where the center of Helene is. It's a tropical storm right now, and it looks like, if you look at the radar data, it looks like the center of circulation is right about here. The worst of this system is going to be on the east side of the center of circulation. That's where we have these tornado warnings, and this band is what we're most concerned about. That's going to start to arrive into our area right during the morning commute. So the timeline for this, we have a weather alert day today. The tornado threat in this area, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then for this area, anywhere from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I do think we're going to get some tornado warnings. Hour by hour today, the worst of it will likely be from around 8 a.m. until around lunchtime.
And happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we're following some breaking news right now. About an hour ago, we reported on a crash on Old Bund Road near Parks Village Road. In the last 5 minutes, we were able to confirm that that crash is now deadly. We have the WRAL breaking news tracker on our way to that scene to get some more information. We also continue to monitor this crash on I-40 eastbound near Wade Avenue. Right now, it appears to involve some type of tractor trailer, not causing any major delays in that area. We'll, of course, keep an eye on that and let you know. And always keep in mind with the weather approaching, you're heading out this morning, you can listen to us on 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the Triangle.
Ken, thank you. We do want to get back to WRAL's Sean Gallagher. He's joining us live from Asheville this morning. Sean, I heard Amy Wilmoth talking about there being a flash flood emergency in that area. Are you seeing any flooding where you are, and are you safe?
Yeah, we're perfectly safe, Chris. I guess I should say that first and foremost. I know we go out in these emergencies. A lot of people, you should just stay inside, but we want to bring you what we can. So we haven't seen a lot of flash flooding directly yet. Actually, last night, my photographer and I, we got dinner not too far from where we're staying, and the manager said that this road out here does flood pretty easily, but we haven't seen any conditions like that so far today. But they actually had a flood there just a couple of days ago when they had those heavy rains that we've been talking about now, 6 to 8 inches or so. So yeah, there has been flash flooding here in this area. We haven't seen it quite yet, but we are seeing that winds are picking up. I've got a wind gauge here, and when I put it up, it was about 10 to 12 miles an hour about an hour and a half ago. Now it's consistently getting over 20 miles an hour. So we're seeing that the storm is picking up a little bit here in Asheville, the winds becoming a bit stronger.
energy map right here on my phone, and I'm seeing there's pockets of tens of thousands of people near the Asheville area without power right now. Have you seen any outages where you are? Maybe the lights were on 1 second and then they turned off the next?
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, I like to kind of try to find some silver linings in these things. We actually came here to this parking lot because our hotel lost power, and it makes it really difficult when we don't have lights. So we came here. It was completely lit up like the 4th of July here. It was a beautiful spot. We really thought this was a great thing. As soon as our photographer here got set up, lights cut out again. We have heard transformers blow, and we've heard a lot of fire engines and their sirens going up and down. We don't know what they're headed to. We haven't been able to see where they're going to these emergencies, but yes, we're experiencing those outages that a lot of people are dealing with. Yes, it's from a light perspective, but definitely a lot of people that are going to have to figure out what to do as they deal with these emergencies. I saw on the Duke Energy website, too, they didn't give an estimated time of when they will be able to get the power back on, because they need to wait for conditions to better up before they can send their crews out, too, Chris.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. And I know you said that you're safe right now. I hope you certainly stay that way. Take care.
And here in the WRAL Live Center, we're keeping an eye on flight delays and cancellations as the morning progresses. Right now at RDU, about the same as about 20 minutes ago when I last checked in with you. 28 cancellations and 13 delays. The delays went up by 1. Earlier there were 12. Now there are 13. This could increase as the morning goes on, because obviously we are expecting to get a lot more rain than what we're seeing right now. Just west of us in Charlotte, it's just a mess there. 266 cancellations and 366 delays. So definitely not a good day to travel. Tampa International Airport, this is about staying the same. This airport was closed yesterday, reopening today. 131 cancellations and 50 delays. So I'm going to keep an eye on these, and I will update you through the morning.
Michelle, thanks. 6:18 now, and good call by the school systems to call off school today, because this morning we will see greater impacts from Helene. This is all because of that track shifting farther east, which means the center of the storm will be a little closer to us. And for us, the wind gusts and tornado possibilities are our greatest concern right now.
That's right. And this is really going to start to pick up for us around 8 a.m. this morning. We will have the potential for some localized flooding, 1 to 3 inches possible. Wind gusts, we did bump that up. The wind gust potential 40 to 50 miles per hour, especially in our southwestern counties. We've already had wind gusts over 50 miles per hour in Charlotte. And then tornadoes, yes, I do think we're going to get some tornado warnings. There have been numerous tornado warnings down to the south in South Carolina. This is a look at Tropical Storm Helene. The center of circulation is right about here. So it is definitely east of where the forecast track was. And so because that center is going to be closer to us, we do have that potential for some stronger wind gusts. But this is what I'm most concerned about, the tornado warnings that are in South Carolina. This band, as it moves into our area, will likely have rotation with it, and we will monitor the threat for tornadoes for our area. The flood risk today is highest in the North Carolina mountains, and extreme risk for flooding. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is also here with a look at a flash flood emergency that we have in the mountains.
Yeah, Amy, good morning. And this is rare. I mean, when you look at the data from 2023, less than 1% of all flash flood alerts in the country were flash flood emergencies. And because of the fact that we've seen close to a foot of rain in Asheville. So since the past 3 days, we've seen more than 11 inches in Asheville. That's as much rain as we've seen in Raleigh in all of September. And you see the flooding issues that we're getting here. So you can only imagine what's going on out there. Sean Gallagher really painting the picture for us in Asheville. Blowing Rock, more than 15 inches of rain. Sparta, Grandfather Mountain, Morganton, more than a foot of rain. And there's a lot more on the way, unfortunately, for the folks in the mountains of North Carolina. We got a live look at Boone. I'm looking at the screen here. There's a lot of hotels right there on King Street. The image just went out. But with it being Parents' Weekend, we know a lot of folks are going to be staying there. Brand new rain data showing the additional 1 to 5 inches of rain in the mountains. That's their main threat. Larry, our guy with the camera here, we're going to come over here and I'm going to show you behind the scenes what we're looking at for our tornado threat. So I'm keeping an eye on this screen. And what we're looking at is the significant tornado parameter. This is kind of behind the scenes insider baseball. But Amy's also looking at that. You see her behind me. And Amy, let's go ahead and check out the hour-by-hour tornado threat.
It's really going to pick up right during the morning commute, Chris. This is a look at the tornado threat right now. It's back to the south and west of us. But as we get to 8, 9 a.m., it starts to move into our southern counties. And then by the time we get to around 10 a.m., that threat starts to go up for the triangle. And notice how you see some of these oranges. That's just very rare. We don't see that very often. So I do think we're going to have some tornado warnings. This is 11 a.m. We still have that threat. We'll move the clock to 1 p.m. this afternoon. It's really from the triangle and points to the north and east at that point. And then once we get to the evening, things will settle down and it will get better for us. But it's going to be rough this morning into the first part of the afternoon. Wind gusts, look at Charlotte, 52 mile per hour gusts right now. Not too bad here locally, but they're going to start to pick up as we progress through the morning. Look at that rain band as it arrives by 8 a.m. this morning in our southwestern counties. We'll be watching this for rotation. Notice how we have some gusts over 40 miles per hour in our southwestern counties at that point. 10 a.m., that band moves through the triangle. And then as we get to 11 a.m., it's still in the triangle and points to the north and east. Look at the wind gusts. Still some pretty gusty winds here. That's going to take down some trees and we'll have some power outages. Look at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Still, we have that threat in our eastern counties. And then beyond that, things will settle down. It's 77 right now, very muggy. I know a lot of you probably are heading to the Bluegrass Festival this weekend. The good news is that later this evening, it will get better, and Saturday looks really good for the festival. But hour by hour today, we're dealing with storms, especially the first half of the day. Even this afternoon, some hit and miss showers and storms, but the worst of it, it's going to come this morning. So a weather alert day today, it's going to be rough for the first half of the day. And then tomorrow, much better, 83 and dry. 84 Sunday, we're back to some storm chances by the end of the weekend. Those are going to continue into Monday and Tuesday, but it's going to be a rough weather day out there. We have our eyes on the radar.
So important to do that, and it's so important to let you know what's going on in the morning commute as well. We've been following some breaking news this morning. Earlier at 5 o'clock, we told you about this crash on Old Bund Road at Parks Village Road. We've just been able to confirm the last 10 minutes or so that crash is now deadly. We have the WRAL breaking news tracker on your way to that scene. For more information, we'll let you know. We're also monitoring this crash on I-40 eastbound near Wade Avenue. It involves some type of tractor trailer there. We're not seeing any problems in that particular area, but we'll continue to watch it. We have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roadways this morning. Photographer Jamie Mundit and meteorologist Anthony Baglione at the helm, giving you a closer look at I-40 westbound, and they'll be giving you a closer look at the road conditions as the storm moves into our area. And of course, if you're getting ready to head out, keep in mind that you can always listen to us on 101.5 HD3 anywhere in the triangle. You also have a couple more options, 99.5 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
And just a reminder, if there's ever a day to have the WRAL News app downloaded with notifications on, today's that day. This morning, people in Atlanta are being forced from their homes as floodwaters rise.
A man describes his experience as he says entire livelihoods are being destroyed.